Hello everyone, welcome back. I've brought in this little forest. Anybody who's been watching my channel videos, you'll have seen me make this forest. It was all cuttings that I took, and rather than just put them into a tray in rows, I decided to just do it as a little forest. So I checked them about 3 weeks ago and they all seem to have taken, so the only thing I'm going to do now today is give it a weed in. There's a lot of weed growing, and take off the wire. Now that they've all rooted, I don't need the wire on. Really, well, the wire was to straighten them because they were obviously branches, so they were curling. So I put the wire on to kind of straighten them up, but more like trees. So yeah, but they're just starting to bite in now. I can see in these bigger ones especially. So I'm going to take all the wire off them, and I know some of them are a little bit crooked and stuff, but we can readjust all that come next spring when we decide to either repot. They're all in kind of this is just potting compost and old soil and stuff mixed, and a mixture of everything. So it's not the best soil, it's quite wet, but it is ideal to get them rooting, so they've all rooted well. So I will probably do a bit of a repot on them next year, just to get them in better soil. For now, we'll just get all the weeds out, and like that I'll take out the take off the wire off them. I think when I did this I mossed it, and I think most of these weeds were in the moss, I would say. That's what happens when you put the moss down, you get all the weeds in it, all the seeds and stuff that are collected in the moss then grow. Some of them sent out quite long roots. It's good. I was expecting to lose quite a few of them, but don't seem to have lost any. They all seem to be all nice and healthy and growing well. You can see this back one here, this big one, where it's just starting to bite in at the bottom here, which is kind of a good sign. At least I know where they're growing. I just want to get rid of all these. You can see the weeds from this one. The roots, I mean, from this one growing up around. Actually broke a couple of roots on this one because I took the wire off it and made the mistake when I put the wire on. Something I mustn't do again. It's always a learning curve. I put the wire, before I planted them, put wire around them all to straighten them up, but I put the wire too low down, so it actually went down into the soil. So of course when the tree is growing, the roots have grown, and they've grown over the wire and things. So when I'm trying to unwire it down into the soil, it started breaking the roots. So all I have to do is de-wire them down as far as the soil line, and then just cut the wire, and then when I do repot them into proper bonsai soil next year, then I will just take out that last bit of wire at the bottom, which is underground. I think these might be ready now to go into full sun for the rest of the year. So the temperatures are going to be starting to drop anyway, so it's not going to be too hot. But the soil is quite wet, as think it needs to be starting to dry out now a bit. So I'll put them out so they get a bit more sun during the day. Where they are at the moment, they're only getting maybe a couple of hours in the morning. Which weeds obviously grow well in. I think this little experiment was a success, planting them as a forest, because I do have a lot of other cuttings and things in pots and trays and things, and they tend to get a bit more neglected because they're just a tray of cuttings, whereas because I have these planted as a forest, I tend to keep my eye on them more, do more work on them. Okay, so I'm just gonna take the wire off them now. Carefully unwind it. It should have enough root now to well, they have. Like I said, the wire wasn't to hold them in the pot, and the wire was just to straighten them up, but they've straightened up enough, and to be honest now at this stage the wire is just not really holding them as straight as they could do. Probably needs a heavier wire, but I'm just going to do it more clip and grow now. They're more or less straight. Right, so that's down to the soil line, so I'll just snip it there. Okay, so I'll go around each tree and I'll dewire them all, and then we'll come back and have a look. Okay, I think down to the last tree now. I found the easiest way to do it, and probably less stressful, is to just start at the bottom, hold the tree, and just snip up the wire rather than trying to twist it around all the branches. And we just pull out all the little pieces, and we're not doing any major pulling and hauling at the tree. Okay, so I think they're all done now. I've noticed there's a couple that haven't rooted, which is okay, because there's probably far too many than we need anyway. If they're still green, but they just haven't rooted yet, a couple of them. I think the next job for these will be to prune up the bottom branches on them so that you have a bit of a trunk. So like take off some of these lower branches, but I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to give them another, I might wait until they're completely well established before you see I've done a few of them before. Yeah, so that'll be kind of the next job probably. This one here kind of lost a bit of the top, but again, it's okay. Other than that, I don't think we need to do any more with this right now. I think this one is okay. We'll put it back on the bench and just leave it for another while, let it grow, and at least now you can see there where the wire was starting to bite in. You can see that in a few of them. So at least the wire's off them now, so we can put it back on the bench. And like I said, when it comes time to repot them, we'll straighten them all up a bit better, and maybe do a bit of pruning on them then. Because this is the other one I did. This one I bought the tree for €1, and it was euro at a car boot sale. This was the tree, and these were all cuttings off the tree. It was just a big bush basically, and I pruned them all off and planted all the cuttings, and again they all seem to have taken, and again full of weeds. The wire on these is a bit heavier, so it doesn't seem to look like, and they're quite thin, so it doesn't look like they're biting in yet. So we'll give it a weed in anyway, and then we'll have a look and see what we think about taking the wire off these. Again, the soil's quite, these were still in the shade, so I think it's time to take these out the shade now. Not shade all day, but just they weren't getting a whole lot of sun. So when the soil gets wet, it kind of stays wet for quite a long time. And again, this is just like compost and stuff, so it's not the best drainage soil or anything, but they do like to root in it. You've got a lot of these tiny weeds. This forest was done a bit later than the other one. This one was done about 2 months after the other one, but still rooted quite well. Let's see roots on this tree here. You can see that on this little tree there, there's even roots coming out of higher up the trunk, growing down towards the soil. But again, rather than just putting them in the tray in rows, I just decided I'd do some sort of a little landscape with them, make it a bit more interesting to be looking at, rather than just you can see all the roots here from this one. These guys root pretty good. We did lose a couple of branches on these, on the main tree, and the tree in front lost a couple of branches, but seemed to lose them, and then that was it. So hopefully it's finished losing branches now and start growing some. I don't think I'm going to do the wire on these yet. They're not in here that long, and the wire seems okay, so I'll leave the wire. But what I will do with these is maybe just prune up the bottoms a bit. Just look there. I'll take off these dead branches on this main tree, chop them back, and hopefully with a bit of light getting in there, it'll send out some new shoots. We get some new branching. Just remove all the dead bits. See, there is new shoots on it all over the place, so hopefully we get rid of all this lot. And if not, we'll just put a tree up close to it. Like it couldn't grow branches down there because the other tree was blocking the light. There's always ways of hiding bad things. If you ever a gap like that, we can just like that, like I say, we'll just move another tree right up close to it. Now this one seems to lose all its branches on the inside here. Again, not too sure what happened. But this one could be the candidate to be pushed up tight to that one when we do the repotting. No branches on this one here, we'll just take some of them out. So there's a few dead tips as well, just take them off. Okay, so we'll put this in the sun now, and it should hopefully start greening up a bit more. You can see there's lots of new tiny little new buds, all branching out, so they're starting to grow now pretty strong. I'd say we're going to get plenty of growth on them, especially around the tops. So we'll keep our eye on them, and we'll try to get it, hopefully that it gets them growing out this side of this one. A lot of the soil seems to be stripped away here. We're going to just put a bit of soil there. Let's see what I have. Okay, I got a bit of bonsai soil here. Just fill in here. It's like the soil's washed away and the roots are starting to become a little bit exposed there. So that could be contributing to that branch. Not these branches not growing this side. Okay. I think that's it for that one. So that was just a little short video on the two forests again, just another little bit of an update, and we'll just keep working on them. Like I said, hopefully by the spring they will start looking a lot better. We can start repotting them into some proper bonsai soil, and yeah, hopefully we'll have two forests for practically nothing. Okay, so as always guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.